When you come out and when you leave the room, you'll see that we just, over the last few minutes, literally shot out a boat, a drug-carrying boat, a lot of drugs in that boat. And you'll be seeing that and you'll be reading about that. It just happened moments ago. And our great general, head of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, who's been so incredible, including what took place in Iran, knocking out potential nuclear power for a long time to come. I think within a month they would have had it if we didn't do what we did. But he gave us a little bit of a briefing, and you'll see. And there's more where that came from. We have a lot of drugs pouring into our country, coming in for a long time. And we just, these came out of Venezuela and coming out very heavily from Venezuela. A lot of things are coming out of Venezuela. So we took it out, and you'll get to see that after this meeting is over.
This is the video that President Trump was discussing. So this is a classic go-fast boat that is used down the Caribbean to haul drugs. You'll see on the back end of that vessel toward the left side of the screen there, 4 outboard motors. This is a big open boat. I'll give you an estimated size here in a minute. But the boat is designed to make some fast speed. And what we saw here in the video is the boat being destroyed. Now, we don't know what destroys the boat at this point. It doesn't look like it's gunfire. We don't see any indication of tracer rounds, probably a missile, probably a small missile, maybe a Hellfire missile, but something small because the boat isn't vaporized. It just explodes. Potentially air launch. We don't know from where or how. Go fast boat. One of the things you'll notice here, 4 outboard motors on the back side, probably around 300 horsepower to 400 horsepower a piece. So you're talking about over 1,200 horsepower at least here. A lot of power in the boat. Barrels throughout it. You can see the people at the console right here. So if you start extrapolating people's kind of height and the size of those outboard motors, you start getting a feel for the size of this vessel. Probably looking at anywhere from about a 30 to a 40-foot boat running here. Now, these boats are designed to be very hard to detect. They'll usually be wooden or fiberglass. This way they don't reflect radar very well. Designed to be low in the water, designed with a deep hull so that they can basically cut through the ocean, ride waves, open bilges there so they can drain the water out. They're designed to go fast over long distances. Boats like this, see right here, this one has 3 outboard motors. Again, get the size of the people here. You start getting a size for these vessels. Again, anywhere from about 30 to 50 feet in length.
It is the first known military strike in the region since President Trump ordered an increased military presence in the Caribbean. Nick Schifrin's following all this, and he joins me now. So, Nick, tell us, what do we know about this strike?
President Trump said that the U.S. Navy operated against that boat that you said that was operated by Tren de Aragua. That has been designated by the administration as a foreign terrorist organization. And the president posted this video on Truth Social this afternoon saying 11 members of the group were sailing toward the United States carrying illegal drugs. And attached to the video, he wrote, quote, "Please let this serve as notice to anyone even thinking about bringing drugs into the United States of America. Beware. Thank you for your attention to this matter." Multiple exclamation points. Now, as you said, Amna, President Trump this summer ordered a large Navy and Marine deployment to the area. You see some of the ships there. A Navy official says it includes destroyers, cruisers, as well as smaller ships capable of launching Marines onto shore. And in total, it's thousands of service members, including submarines. The administration describes it as a drug mission and uses the language of war, as Secretary of State Marco Rubio did today.
Narcotics strike against positively identified Tren de Aragua narco-terrorists. He added that 11 people on the boat were killed. Trump claimed the boat was transporting illegal narcotics heading to the United States. Now, here's a map of where the United States is. That small boat was attacked off the coast of Venezuela, which is over 1,000 nautical miles away from here. The United States was obviously well out of range of that boat. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, on the other hand, defended the strike by saying the vessel's destination was probably Trinidad or another country in the Caribbean, which, of course, makes more sense on the map. I mean, Trinidad's only 10 miles from Venezuela by sea. But again, that too is more than 1,000 miles from the U.S. mainland. Who knows where the drugs, if they were there, were going to go next? This morning, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth was doing a victory lap, promising more military strikes on narco traffickers, narco terrorists. But now, as we learn more details of the attack, I have to say, this is an enormous scandal that is unfolding right in front of us. This civilian, non-military boat, even if they were committing a crime, was not struck in self-defense. No weapons were evident. Whoever struck it, and the U.S. has shared no details of that, didn't try to disable the engines or to board the craft. They just summarily killed everybody on board. As a Notre Dame law professor told the Washington Post, the strike violated international law. The U.S. is not in armed conflict with Venezuela or its criminal elements. This is exactly the kind of operation that, if it existed in a Tom Clancy novel or movie, would be getting covered up because all the principals in the film would know it was illegal. I mean, it certainly seems like extrajudicial murder to me. And again, that's the case even if everything the administration is saying is true.
Tensions. President Donald Trump shared footage of the U.S. military operation in the Caribbean Sea, where Washington struck a vessel allegedly carrying illegal narcotics bound for the U.S. But there's accusations that the footage is AI generated. Tell us what's the story, Vedika.
That's right. According to Venezuela's communications minister, Freddy Nanez, the U.S. is using AI-generated footage in order to fabricate a war narrative. Now, for reference, this is the video posted by U.S. President Donald Trump on his Truth Social, showing the strike that killed 11 people on what he said was a drug-carrying vessel allegedly operated by Tren de Aragua, which the U.S. deems a terrorist group. But if we go back to the Venezuelan minister, he took to X and Telegram to accuse Washington Secretary of State Marco Rubio of lying to Donald Trump. Now, he said, based on the video provided, it was most likely created using artificial intelligence. Now, whilst he said he couldn't confirm exactly with certainty the tools that were used to create the video, he says that there are several elements to suggest that it is AI generated. Now, in order to cite those and show us those AI giveaways, he attached a screenshot of a conversation that he'd had with an AI chatbot, namely Google's Gemini chatbot. Now, as per the screenshots here with Gemini, these were the reasonings as to why the video would be AI generated. It says here that there's almost cartoon-like animation rather than a realistic depiction of an explosion. It says that there's motion artifacts and a lack of realistic detail, particularly the water is unnatural and highly stylized. It also says the content of the video seems to be a composite of different elements, including the unclassified text that we saw and the watermark. But overall, that is what we're looking at, Yinka, the Venezuelan communications minister accusing the White House.
Siempre las imágenes de guerra suelen ser un poco extrañas, pero yo creo que no se van a poner a mentir con eso y la inteligencia artificial sí se puede prestar para tantas cosas, pero cuando es algo así tan serio yo supongo que no. De todas maneras es una noticia muy reciente que es muy probable que en estas próximas horas, en los próximos días seguramente va a haber más información. Sí es una situación preocupante porque él dice que es por cosas de drogas, pero otros lados dicen que están pidiendo dinero de recompensa, que le den información por el presidente para ver si lo consiguen.
Esperamos un cambio por el bien de todos los venezolanos. Un grupo de familias, llámese Maduro, Flores, Cabello, que son los que están gobernando este país, o los Rodríguez, que son los dueños del Valle, los nuevos amos del Valle, que se creen dueños de Venezuela, no pueden dominar 30 millones de seres humanos que somos los venezolanos. 30 millones que estamos a la expectativa.
Today, where 11 people were killed, what was found on that boat, and why were the men killed instead of taken?
On the boat, you had massive amounts of drugs. We have tapes of them speaking. It was massive amounts of drugs coming into our country to kill a lot of people, and everybody fully understands that. In fact, you see it. You see the bags of drugs all over the boat, and they were hit. Obviously, they won't be doing it again, and I think a lot of other people won't be doing it again when they watch that tape. They're going to say, let's not do this. We have to protect our country, and we're going to. Venezuela's been a very bad actor. They've been, as you know, they've been sending millions of people into our country, many of them Tren de Aragua, some of the worst gangs, some of the worst people anywhere in the world in terms of gangs. We are paying a big price as a country for the incompetence of the Biden administration. But think of it, opened up prisons, drug dealers, drug lords.
Constitucional de la República Bolivariana de Venezuela, acompañado con la doctora Silvia Flores de Maduro, primera dama de la comunicación presentes.
Colegas y colegas, que conformamos el ALBA. Y es impresionante, te puedo decir, 8 barcos militares con 1.200 misiles y un submarino nuclear apuntan a Venezuela. Es una amenaza extravagante, injustificable, inmoral y absolutamente criminal, sangrienta, absolutamente criminal. Ellos han querido avanzar hacia lo que llaman la máxima presión, en este caso es militar. Y ante la máxima presión militar, nosotros hemos declarado la máxima preparación para la defensa de Venezuela. Mr. President, Donald Trump, usted tiene que cuidarse porque Marco Rubio quiere manchar sus manos de sangre, con sangre suramericana, caribeña, con sangre venezolana. Lo quieren llevar a un baño de sangre y que su apellido, Trump, se manche de sangre por los siglos de los siglos, con una masacre contra el pueblo de Venezuela, con una guerra terrible contra Sudamérica y el Caribe, porque esto sería una guerra completa en todo el continente. Le quieren manchar las manos de sangre a Donald Trump.